Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. So, as you can tell by the title, I'm dieting again, and I've been on so many diets in my life, and they've all failed. I don't know how many I've been on, but it has to be over 10, and obviously they all failed because, look, I'm still fat. So at some point they failed, and so if I failed so many times, what makes me think this time would be any different? And when I look back on my previous diets, what were they about? And most of them were about vanity. Some of them were about health. Especially I was worried about my blood sugar. Um, uh, and I think my last one, I don't think I still have the videos up, but it was about saying I wasn't really worried about the weight loss per se. I wanted to lose weight, but I was more worried of doing it to feel better physically. Less fatigue and less stiffness and stuff like that. But this one, and if it was any of those things again, I probably wouldn't bother dieting because I know I'd just fail. Although I'll admit that health is an issue this time because I had some blood work that came back. The cholesterol came back really bad, like really bad, and to the point where they told me I had to go on medication, which I'm not going to do. So, that kind of left me a choice. Like I either go on the meds or I lose weight. But that's that's not what it is either. This time, it really isn't about weight loss because I haven't weighed myself. I didn't even weigh myself at the beginning. I really don't know what I weigh. I think I probably started around 198. I have no idea what I weigh now. And it's not about feeling better because I still don't feel great. Physically, I'm definitely feel better than I did. I'm not the fatigue isn't as bad as it was, and my sleep's improved dramatically, and digestion has improved, and the stiffness, and pain in the neck and stuff, and just all around stiffness has improved, and the allergies are just like so much better. So there is stuff on that front, but so it's not that, and it's not about the losing the weight because uh, I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't care about how much I weigh. Obviously, being fat does bother me, but not enough to give up foods that I like. No, it's just about the depression, and I've noticed in the past that there's things that I eat that make the depression worse, and the first one is caffeine from caffeinated beverages. So that was easy for me to cut that out years ago. Not that I wouldn't occasionally drink caffeine, not a big deal, easy to give up, relatively speaking. Especially since I have a hard time really drinking soda anymore. Like I still, it depends. So for a while I was drinking it every day, but it took a while to get there, and I can't drink it like I used to. I have to kind of slowly build up my tolerance to it. Um, so that's easy. The other one, I've mentioned it in videos before, is just caffeine in general, and that's chocolate. Like because there's caffeine and theoborine or whatever in chocolate. For some reason, the caffeine in chocolate doesn't give me as serious. I don't react to it as badly as I do as caffeine from beverages. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe there's some compounds in the chocolate that neutralize it. But that has also, I've had in the past, especially when last year when my depression was really bad, I had to give up chocolate for a while, like a long while, to help control the depression symptoms. Um, and that's really unpleasant because I like chocolate a lot. But because I just couldn't deal with the depressive symptoms, and it was horrible even when I wasn't eating the chocolates, and chocolate seemed to make it worse. So I gave up, the chocolate too. But then there was a third thing, which is and that's you know, any type of sweeteners, which certainly includes refined sugar, which I consume a ton of, and also white flour, because metabolically white flour is exactly the same as white sugar. And in Western countries, especially in the United States, refined sugar and white flour, that's everywhere. That's basically our entire diet is white flour and refined sugar. That's the base of our diet. So in a sense, I'm not even on a diet. I've just given up refined, white flour and refined sugar. I mean, so it's like, and it's like, and obviously all other sweeteners too. So you can't cheat it by like going out and buying raw honey and making baked goods with that in it. Um, the Mainly I'm worried about stuff that has anything besides fruit, which I don't have to worry about because I don't eat anyway, that has dramatic spikes in blood sugar. And again, not for a health thing about blood sugar, but because I've noticed the impact on my depression. I mean, it's pretty substantial. And that's why I'm optimistic, for lack of a better word, that this time I'm going to keep up with it because you know, every day I'm thinking, I see something like, I see a bunch of cookies in my kitchen and I want to eat like the whole box, but I don't, not because of any, I don't even consider it self discipline because I mean, if it was self discipline, I would have given up, you know, a week ago. Um, no, it's that I'm just scared. Like I see, I'm so scared it's going to make the depression, worse. And right now, after being eating clean for a while, I feel like the depression's pretty much resolved. I would say if it's not 100%, it's close to 100%. And my mood is just so much more balanced. Whereas it used to be very up and down. Like sometimes I would feel okay, but then sometimes I would feel pretty shitty. Now it's like I'm always balanced. I've been like the entire time I've been doing this, I've been, fine. I guess because I'm not having the blood sugar spikes. And like I said, there's the residual symptoms of depression. My sleep's been a lot better. Still not good, but it's been a lot better. The fatigue. I don't know. I think the fatigue just comes from the crappy sleep. So yeah, that's been better. But even though I don't have fatigue, I still don't have much energy. Like in the entire time that I've been dieting, I haven't done any exercise. I haven't lifted weights. I haven't gone out and walked. I haven't skateboarded. I haven't done anything. I'm still totally sedentary. Now, maybe if I get more energy, I will start doing those things. Um, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So, yeah, but I mean, I'm just thinking about like, how much it fucking sucks. It really just sucks. And I mean, it doesn't suck as much as the depression, which is why I'm still doing it. But that's the only reason. That's the only reason. I don't know how people do it. If it's like if the goal is weight loss or like some kind of or some kind of like athletic thing, well, I guess that would be weight loss too. But if the goal is weight loss or weight maintenance, I don't know how people do it. I don't know if that I don't know how any way somebody could sustain that over a lifetime. For me, like I said, for me, it's pure aversion therapy. It's just because the alternative's even worse. So that's like, so in that sense, you can give it up. But how somebody who's like, so it's like, oh, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I really want to lose the weight because I feel bad about myself or whatever. And then that's enough for them to like cut out all these foods. I don't know how they do it. Now, granted, not everybody eats the same way I do. Like I'll routinely, I mean, 6 Snickers bars in a day was like, that was probably my minimum. I was on many days where I was doing more than that. And, but no, I mean, I really miss it a lot. The thing is, but I don't know. It was like, am I never going to eat sweets again? Again, it really depends on the depression. As long as I feel like it's going to return to the depressive symptoms, I can't see myself eating any sweets because I'm just so scared of, the depression coming back. And, so, I guess I'm hoping that, and I got to admit, I'm not too optimistic, but, I'm hoping that if I do it for long enough, if I eat healthy for long enough, because the longest I've ever eaten healthy in my life is 3 weeks. That's the longest I've ever been able to go. So, but I was thinking maybe if I hang on for like 3 months, maybe the cravings for sweets will go away. Because that's all it is, the cravings for sweets. I can give up the fast food, the fried chicken and stuff. Like, yeah, I miss that stuff, but I can handle it. It's not like, it's the Snickers bars and the cookies and stuff like that. That's the thing that I really get, the hardcore cravings for. And so I don't know. I'm just, I'm like I said, I'm cautiously hoping if I do it for 3 months, then then maybe the cravings go away. And I also have hope, and again, I'm not super optimistic about this either, that part of my depression is from carrying too much weight. I know it's sort of a long shot, but maybe I'm just somebody who's like, I know that my build isn't meant to carry a lot of body fat. I'm one of the people who stores all their fat in their stomach. Maybe if I lose like, well, I guess if I started around 198, I would have to lose probably at least 55 pounds. So, but maybe if I lost 55 pounds, then the depressive symptoms would improve. Again, not not super optimistic. I don't think that's going to happen. Even if I lose the 55 pounds, I don't think it's going to improve the depression. And right now, I don't even know how I would know, because I mean, like I said, right now I actually feel okay as long as I don't eat any sweets, or caffeine, or consume any caffeine, and still continue to take a pretty high dose of my antidepressant. The depression seems under control. I mean, like maybe it's not 100%. I don't know, but it's pretty good, and I really don't feel depressed. And the and actually, that's that, but that does bring up something. I would say that anybody, if you're somebody who's struggling with depression or anxiety, maybe you're just a high strung person or whatever, I would recommend giving it a shot. A diet with, I mean, really, I would do like a Weston May Price diet. That's what I'm doing, and you can look up more about that if you're interested. But it's less about what you eat than what you don't eat. I mean, obviously, you need, like I've talked about before, you need some probiotics, or some probiotic foods, and but what you don't eat, it's the sweeteners and the white flour. Those seem to have, and of course caffeine, although maybe that's not as bad. But you take those out, and you don't have to give it a long time. Give it 2 or 3 days. Give it 2 or 3 days and see if you mentally feel better. And I think you will, because I'm not saying you'll mentally feel good, because I mean that didn't happen for me, necessarily at first, but a lot better. So it's not a replacement for medication or any kind of treatment. It's not. I mean, maybe for some people it is, but for me it certainly isn't. Like if you took away my antidepressants, I would be a complete wreck. Even without this, even with a clean diet. Um, but the what am I saying? But yeah, no, I do think it's worth trying out. I think a lot of people, and I probably would have been one of these, maybe not even that long ago, say, well, the cure is worse than the disease. That's not how I want to live. You know, not how I want to, live. Like I want to still be able to eat the stuff I want whenever I want, and I would rather deal with some depression than that. And again, that's how I would have felt till pretty recently. But it's just I just couldn't take the depression anymore. It was just it just wore me down, man. Just wore me down. And of course, if I do lose weight, then maybe that's what I need to do. I need to market it and say like, you just I find some way to like make it so you get really depressed every time you eat every time you eat any white flour or white flour or a sweetener, and people would stop consuming them and they'd lose a lot of weight. Um, but Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I'm not doing any exercise, and that's not like I'm not deliberately not doing any exercise. I'm just, I don't have the energy, and so if that changes, I will. But I'm still, like I said, I have no idea. I don't know what I weighed when I started. I think around 198. Have no idea what I weigh now, and I'm not interested. I don't feel any temptation to go weigh myself, because I don't care, because it's not what it's that's just not what it's about this time. Even though I would like to lose weight, it's truly a wellness thing. Although it's more of a psychological wellness than physical wellness. Again, there is a physical wellness thing, because wellness component, because of my bad cholesterol. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah. So what actually am I eating then, if I'm not eating white flour and sweets? I've replaced my Snickers bar based diet. Although I supplemented, basically my diet was Snickers bars, which I supplemented with fried chicken, and the and then of course I drank a lot of raw milk, for the probiotic stuff. Still drinking a lot of raw milk, actually a little bit more than I used to now, because it's just one of the ways I get some calories in. One thing that I've added, again, all the all the Snickers bars are gone, so you more broccoli, although I always ate broccoli just to help with digestion, and a lot more beans. Generally, eat black refried beans, but I eat other kinds of beans too. Um, how much of those? I don't even really know how to say it. I guess broccoli probably like 5 pieces, 5 or 6 pieces, about this size, um, every other day maybe, and because I don't really like broccoli very much. Although I will eat some tonight. And beans, I don't know, half a cup, or maybe like half a cup to a cup of refried beans every day. And then I don't know I don't measure it out, so I don't know, but like a plateful of brown rice, because that's something, I can cook that here, quickly and cheaply. And then like I said, raw milk, probably about, I don't know, man, like probably about I guess four cups of raw milk. So that's like 600 plus calories there. The wait, is that how many I'm doing? 4 cups plus six, something like that. 6 times 4 is, yeah, that's about okay. So yeah, probably about 4 cups of raw milk a day. So I mean, again, between that, you're still not talking a whole ton of calories. And so I mean, to fill in the gaps, I also eat. Oh, all right. For lunch, I had like cold cuts, but not on a sandwich, just cold cuts. I would put them on a sandwich if I could find some like non-glycemic, like low glycemic sourdough bread, like real sourdough bread, but it's very difficult to find around here. You have to order it from a state away, and the shipping cost is too much to make it worth it. I mean, unless you want to buy like 10 loaves at a time, and I don't have the freezer space to store that, because the shit does not last. It's got no preservatives in it, so it doesn't last very long. Um, so no, just pure cold cuts, so a little bit of, so that too. But then I'll eat stuff like I don't know, like rotisserie chicken, steak, chopped liver, to get at least some of the stuff from chopped liver. Uh Fish. Not that I don't really like fish, but I'll eat some of that. And yeah, that's how I get the other part in. But I mean, certainly right now I'm like way below maintenance calories. I think like if today I had probably 5 cups of raw milk, so that's at least 750 calories, maybe a little bit more. So that's 750 calories. Then I had the beans, which are, I don't even know, I think like 170. Let's just say 200. So there's 950. Then the rice was probably, geez, I don't know, maybe 500. So you're at 1400, around four. Let's just say around 1400 then. And that's pretty much it. That's like, and that's like a normal day for me now. And even if I weighed like 140, 140, oh, right, in the cold cut. So there's another like 200, so 1600 calories. But the thing is, even if I weighed like 140, which is probably what I should weigh, I mean, my maintenance then is still around 1700. So the so I'm still like, I'm like barely making what my maintenance should be, which, I mean, right now it's not a big deal because I've got a lot of weight to lose, but ultimately something's going to have to give. So yeah, but like I said, Weston A price thing, you can look it up if you're interested. I don't feel like rehashing it. I think I've talked about it before. I don't like like if you go to the Weston A. Price Foundation, they take it to a really spurgy length, which I don't like. I just kind of try to use like a half-ass version of Weston A. Price. It's like I said before, it's more about what you don't eat than what you do. So I avoid a lot of the foods that they say to avoid, but I don't necessarily prepare my foods the way that they say. Like a lot of the stuff I use out of a can, and I don't soak my rice for 24 hours before I cook it. I soak it for like 20 minutes and then rinse it. Um, so yeah, but I mean, yeah, this is really unpleasant, but not as unpleasant as the depression. So for now, I'm stuck with it. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next.